One day they're texting you every hour. The next day, nothing. No explanation. No fight. No goodbye. Just silence. This is ghosting, and it is doing something very specific to your brain. Not metaphorically, literally, neurologically. And understanding it might be the most helpful thing you ever learn. First, what exactly is ghosting? It's when someone you have a relationship with simply vanishes. No closure, no reason, no final message. It happens in romantic relationships, friendships, even workplaces. And it is now one of the most common ways relationships end. Studies show over 25% of people have been ghosted at least once. Some research puts that number closer to 50%. So why does it hurt so much? More than a normal breakup? The answer starts in a part of your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex. This is the region that processes physical pain. Social rejection activates the exact same region. Being ghosted doesn't just feel like pain. It is pain, neurologically identical. This is why telling someone just get over it is neurologically absurd. You wouldn't tell someone to get over a broken bone. Same principle. But ghosting does something even more damaging than regular rejection. Regular rejection gives your brain a reason, a why. Ghosting gives your brain nothing to work with. And a brain with no answer doesn't stop. It searches. It replays every conversation, every message, every moment, looking for the clue it missed. This compulsive searching is called the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain obsesses over incomplete things far more than completed ones. Ghosting leaves the relationship permanently incomplete. So your brain never gets to file it away and move on. It just keeps the file open, forever, running in the background. This is why ghosting survivors report intrusive thoughts weeks, even months later. Now here's where it gets darker. When your brain can't find an external reason, it creates an internal one. It decides, the reason must be me. I said something wrong. I'm too much. I'm not enough. This is called self-blame attribution, and it's catastrophic for self-esteem. Studies show ghosted individuals report significantly lower self-worth than those who received a clear breakup, even when logically they know it says more about the ghoster than them. Logic doesn't win against a brain in social pain. Now your brain does something even more primal. It activates the threat detection system, because in our evolutionary past, being rejected from the group meant death. Exile from a tribe was a death sentence. Your brain still runs that same ancient software today. So being ghosted doesn't just feel bad. It feels dangerous. Your cortisol spikes. Your sleep suffers. Your appetite disappears. Your body is treating a text message silence like a survival emergency. This is not weakness. This is ancient wiring. Now let's talk about what happens next. The checking phase. You check your phone constantly. Every notification makes your heart jump. This is your dopamine system being hijacked. The same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. Variable reward. Unpredictable response. Maximum addiction. The ghoster doesn't even need to be present to keep you hooked. Their absence becomes as powerful as their presence. This is why some people reach out to the person who ghosted them. Not because they lack self-respect, because their brain is chemically seeking resolution. Let's talk about identity threat. When someone chooses you, your brain updates its self-image. You become someone worth choosing. That identity update feels real, because neurologically it is. Then ghosting happens, and that identity gets yanked away. Not gently removed, deleted without explanation. So now your brain is asking, was I ever worth choosing at all? This question is the most dangerous part of ghosting, because it doesn't stay contained to that one relationship. It bleeds into everything. Am I good enough at work? Do my friends actually like me? One person's silence rewrites your entire self-narrative. This is especially true for people with anxious attachment styles. Attachment theory was developed by psychologist John Bowlby in the 1950s. It describes how early bonds with caregivers shape every relationship after. Securely attached people feel distress when ghosted, but recover faster. Anxiously attached people spiral hard and fast. Their brain interprets absence as total abandonment. Not just, they haven't texted, but everyone will always leave me. This catastrophizing is not irrational. It is learned. The brain learned early. People disappear without warning. So when it happens again, the brain says, I knew it. Now let's talk about the person doing the ghosting. Most ghosters are not cruel people. Most are conflict avoidant. Their brain experiences confrontation as a threat. So disappearing feels, to them, like the kindest option. They are wrong, but they genuinely believe it. Many ghosters also have avoidant attachment styles. Intimacy triggers their threat response. Closeness feels suffocating. So they run, not from you, from the feeling closeness creates in them. Understanding this doesn't make it hurt less, but it does stop your brain from making it entirely about you. Now the spiral. This is what most people don't talk about. Day 1. Confusion. Checking the phone every few minutes. Day 3. Rationalizations. Maybe they're just busy. Day 7. The self-blame begins. Day 14. Replaying every interaction, looking for the mistake. Day 30. Either acceptance begins or the spiral deepens. For some people, the spiral deepens into genuine depression. Not sadness, clinical depression, triggered by unresolved social pain. Research links repeated ghosting experiences to long-term anxiety disorders. Your threat detection system gets permanently recalibrated. Every slow text reply now feels like another ghosting beginning. This is called hypervigilance, and it exhausts people. You start pre-rejecting people before they can ghost you, pulling away first, keeping people at arm's length, ironically becoming the avoidant person you feared. Ghosting can literally rewire how you attach to people. This is the long-tail damage that nobody talks about. Now, let's talk about what actually helps. First, stop seeking closure from the person who ghosted you. They have already shown you they cannot give it. Closure is not a thing they give you. It's a thing you build yourself. Your brain needs a narrative to close the loop. So write one, literally, in a journal, on paper. Research shows expressive writing reduces the Zeigarnik obsession loop significantly. Write the ending you deserved, even if it never happened. Your brain can't always tell the difference between a real ending and a written one. That is not delusion. That is neuroscience. Let's talk about the second recovery tool, reattribution. Your brain blamed itself. Reattribution deliberately redirects that blame, not to punish the ghoster, to give your brain accurate information. Ask yourself, what do I actually know for certain? Fact, they stopped responding. That is all you know. Everything else, the why, the meaning, the fault, is your brain filling gaps. And brains are terrible at filling gaps accurately when in pain. They catastrophize. They personalize. They spiral. Reattribution interrupts this. It replaces assumption with possibility. Maybe they are emotionally unavailable. Maybe they are avoidant. Maybe they're going through something you know nothing about. You don't need the right answer. You just need to stop defaulting to the worst one. Third recovery tool, rebuilding felt safety. Ghosting damages your nervous system's sense of safety and connection. Your body now associates closeness with potential danger. To rebuild safety, you need repeated experiences of reliable connection. Not big dramatic gestures. Small, consistent, predictable ones. Every reliable response your nervous system receives is a repair. This is why therapists say connection is the antidote to ghosting damage. Not romantic connection. Any connection. Friends, family, community. Your brain needs evidence that people can be reliable. Fourth tool, reclaiming your self-narrative. Ghosting rewrote your story without your permission. You need to take the pen back. Actively list what you know to be true about yourself. Outside of this relationship, your worth existed before them. It exists after them. Their silence was never a referendum on your value. It was a statement about their capacity, not your worth. Now let's zoom out. What does ghosting reveal about modern relationships? Digital communication made starting relationships easier than ever. It also made ending them require almost no courage at all. The same technology that connects us has made us more disposable to each other. When there are always 10 more options, one swipe away. The cost of treating any one person poorly feels very low. This is not human nature becoming crueler. It is incentive structures changing. The app was designed for engagement, not for human dignity. And we are all living inside a system that was never built with our mental health in mind. Understanding this doesn't excuse ghosting, but it contextualizes it. The person who ghosted you is also shaped by this system, as were you, as are all of us. Now, what can you do to protect yourself going forward? First, invest slowly. Let trust be earned in layers. Your nervous system needs time to read someone's consistency before you go deep. Actions over time tell you more than words in the moment. Do they show up when they say they will? Do they communicate when things feel uncomfortable? These small signals tell you whether someone has the capacity for real connection. Second, know your own attachment style. If you are anxiously attached, you will feel abandonment faster and harder than others. That is not a flaw. That is information about what your nervous system learned. And it can be unlearned, slowly, with the right experiences. Third, if you're about to ghost someone, stop. You now know exactly what that silence does to another person's brain. One message, 2 sentences. That is all it takes. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. The discomfort of sending that message lasts minutes. The damage of not sending it lasts months. Choose the minutes of discomfort. If you have been ghosted, what happened to you was real. The pain was real. The confusion was real. The self-doubt was real. And none of it, not a single part of it, was a reflection of your worth. Your brain was doing exactly what it was built to do. Try to make sense of something that simply made no sense. And that says everything about your humanity and nothing about your value. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, that's exactly why GULD exists.